Hi Capricorn, welcome to your love reading for January 2020. Let's see what is coming up for you. This is the love reading for the sign of Capricorn for January 2020. 8 of Wands. Love reading for the sign of Capricorn for January. 2 of Wands. Love reading for the sign of Capricorn for January. The Fool. Love reading for the sign of Capricorn for January. 7 of Swords. Love reading for the sign of Capricorn for January. The Tower. Knight of Pentacles. Love reading for the sign of Capricorn for January 2020. 10 of Swords. Love reading for the sign of Capricorn for January. 8 of Swords. Love reading for the sign of Capricorn for January. 3 of Cups. What's the most important thing Capricorn needs to hear about their love life for January 2020? The message that you have, Capricorn, is the Hangman. So the Hangman is telling you that there is stuck energy around your relationship. I can definitely see that in this reading, but I do see things changing. The Hangman is not moving forward, being in limbo, being stuck. So we'll come back to this card in a minute and see how it ties in with the rest of the reading. Let's start at the top. If you would like a private reading with me, I'll put a link down below to my website, channeledguidance.com. Okay, so you're starting with 8 of Wands, 2 of Wands, and the Fool. So many of you, you've been waiting for things to change, because I definitely see that you've been struggling in a relationship here. I see you not only have the Hangman as the main energy, you have the 8 of Swords here. So some of you have really felt like you've been in a mental prison in a relationship. You feel this is a lot of fear, afraid of moving forward. There's been deceit, perhaps. You have the 7 of Swords here. You've been waiting for that to change. The good news is I do see change around this. You have the 8 of Wands and the Fool. So the Fool is telling you that there is a new beginning for you, but this is telling you to take a giant risk and change. Some of you, this is not for everyone, but I do feel like for some of you where you've been waiting for a relationship, where you feel like this has become really toxic, kind of like the energy of the devil, and someone who has just kind of kept you in limbo for a really long time. Some of you are deciding to move on, like you're just not going to have it anymore. And I feel like, if somebody new comes along, take that chance in a new opportunity, a new person. Because there is excitement here with the 8 of Wands. This is something very unexpected developing. It could be that maybe you've been waiting for someone to come around. Maybe you've been waiting for an ex to come back, but then you meet somebody new. If you feel that connection, then give them a chance. That's what the Fool is telling you. But it can also be someone who has kept you waiting is finally coming around, because the 8 of Wands always comes up when you've been waiting for a really long time for something to happen, for something to change. Can also be really exciting communication coming to you in the month of January that leads to a new beginning here, where you're just going to have to trust. Maybe you just have to trust that this person is not going to do this to you anymore. They're not going to keep putting you on the back burner. They're not going to keep the relationship on hold, which I see here. Something like that could change for you in January. Now down here, you've got the 7 of Swords, the Tower, and the Knight of Pentacles. So, to me, the 7 of Swords is a card of deceit. And it can be perhaps that, somebody has been very dishonest with you. It doesn't have to be about cheating. People lie about other things. But I do feel like the sign of Capricorn has been hurt. Because you not only have the 7 of Swords, you have the 8 of Swords, and you also have the 10 of Swords, which means that you've been dwelling on something painful. Perhaps that involves someone deceiving you. And you also have the Tower here. Some of you could... If someone has been lying to you, I feel like you're definitely going to find out in the month of January if you don't already know this. There is a movement around this. You have the Knight of Pentacles. Things are progressing. It could be that if you're not in the know as far as what somebody has really been doing, why somebody has been holding back from you, bang, you will find out in the month of January. Someone here has perhaps been lying, and I feel like it is deceit because, it's like somebody feels trapped. Somebody feels trapped, and there is energy here being deeply hurt, being unable to move on. And I do feel like it's some type of deceit, not necessarily cheating, but somebody has just not been completely honest. It could be just about their feelings. And down here, like I said, you've got the 10 of Swords, the 8 of Swords, and the 3 of Cups. So although you have, 2 really challenging cards, the 10 of Swords being betrayed, stabbed in the back. Again, that's why I feel like there is some type of deceit here. The sign of Capricorn has been hurting, and you've not been able to move on from this. You've been, kind of in a mental prison because of what somebody has been doing, how they have been acting. However, Look at this. You still have a lot of happiness here for you. This is celebration. And yes, it can be that someone can change, because I do see that in the, the first 3 cards. Someone who has been maybe deceitful, someone who has been keeping you on hold, finally they do realize they do want to be with you in the month of January. This is you celebrating. It can also be that you're celebrating because you're moving on. That's just something that I get. Okay, let's get a few more cards. Let's see what else comes up for you. What other messages are there for the sign of Capricorn for January 2020? We've got the Page of Wands, the 3 of Wands, and the Page of Swords. So, we have the Page of Swords here next to the Tower. And, kind of similar energy, because the Tower can be a sudden revelation, shocking news. And then you've got, kind of honesty here. And usually with this deck, this really does kind of imply like spying, you finding out the truth about something. So again, if somebody has been lying to you, this reading is kind of screaming that you will know about it. You will know maybe what this person has been lying about. But with these 2 cards as well, you have the 3 of Wands. You've been waiting. So now you have the 2 and the 3 of Wands here. So there's a strong message that Capricorn has been waiting for things to change, for things to develop between you and another person. I just feel like there's something maybe that you don't know. You also have the Page of Wands here, which does imply that, there is excitement coming up for you. There's change. There's good times. Perhaps you've been waiting, for this to finally happen for you. Maybe you don't know why someone has been holding back from you. Maybe it's why somebody can't connect with you the way that you are with them. And it could be maybe that is what you're finding out here in the month of January. Maybe it's because they're, afraid of moving forward here. Maybe there's someone else. For some of you, I feel like you just don't know why a relationship is not moving forward, which describes the main energy. Being stuck, being in limbo. Okay, let's get a few more from the confirmation deck. What other messages are there for the sign of Capricorn, January 2020? The High Priestess, 10 of Swords again, and the 7 of Cups. What's the most important thing Capricorn needs to hear about their love life for January 2020? Page of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles is telling you, look closer, look deeper. There's something that you're not seeing here. And that's pretty interesting, considering that I kept telling you, with the 7 of Swords and the Tower, that there's probably something you don't know. This is confirming this. Maybe you don't know the real reason somebody is kind of backing away from you. Maybe you don't know the real reason why somebody's putting you on hold. This is telling you, look closer, do your homework, and you will see the truth. But you're also being told here to trust your intuition, the High Priestess. What do you think is going on with the person that you love? Why do you think somebody has backed off from you? Why do you think someone does not want to commit? This is telling you trust your intuition. You're not wrong. You also have the 10 of Swords 2 times here. Same card, different deck. So, you do want to be careful when you see this, because, the 10 of Swords, you can't really sugarcoat it. It is, being deeply hurt. And yes, it can represent being betrayed by the person that you love, being stabbed in the back. But it's also it's telling you that it's time to move on. That's why I feel like for some of you, even though you probably don't want to hear that at the beginning of the new year, some of you where you've been in a relationship where you've had it, somebody has just been messing with your head, putting you on hold, leading you on. The cards are telling you that it's time for you to go. It's time to move on. And there is, I definitely see you confused here. You have the 7 of Cups. You're highly confused. Maybe because you don't know the real answers. Maybe you don't really know why this person won't commit, why they won't move forward with you, what's really going on. I feel like you will know in the month of January, but you have to look closer. You have to look really closely at this person. You will see perhaps why you're not moving forward, why they don't want to move forward. Again, the 7 of Cups, this is a very emotional energy. And someone is just completely lost. It can also be the person that you love. Now, just realize here you've got 2 sevens. You've got the 7 of Swords, 7 of Cups. The 7s represent decisions and change. So there could be an important decision that one of you has to make in the month of January. It can also be that things they have to change in order for you to be happy. You also have 2 8s. 8 of Wands there, 8 of Swords here. And the 8s do represent that you have to restructure a relationship. You have to rethink a relationship. It's all the re's. You have to restructure, rethink, everything, because things are not going to move forward as is. So if you want to kind of pick up where you left off and keep moving forward, that's not going to work. Something profound has to change in the relationship for things to move forward in a positive way. You have to restructure the relationship. It can't continue as is, or, you know, there's still going to be a lot of pain here with the 10 of Swords here 2 times. And again, there is some type of deceit with the 7 of Swords. Let me get a confirmation card, because I feel like, you know, there can be so many things that people can lie about. It's not necessarily another person. Why has the 7 of Swords come up for the sign of Capricorn for January? Interesting. It's a person. You've got the King of Cups, so that would be a water sign. Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. Male or female, sun, moon, or rising. Why has the 7 of Swords come up for the sign of Capricorn for January 2020? Wow. So you've got the 7 of Cups again, because that card was down here. Some of you, again, I mean, look, I don't want to say this, especially on New Year's, but there's definitely a message for some of you. Again, this is a general reading. There can be deceit about another person, because the 7 of Swords is deceit, and the 7 of Cups is someone who is highly lost and confused over choices. And there's literally a person here, a water sign. It could be Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, but it cannot. This is just the energy that there is a person here who is in a very emotional place. I mean, look at this. 7 of Cups. So definitely kind of, you know, this is what I was telling you. Keep your eyes open, especially for those of you where you feel like something's off. Somebody keeps putting you on the back burner. They're not giving you clear answers. You feel deeply hurt. Trust your intuition. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the X spread. Okay, Capricorn, let's go ahead and see what's going on between you and your ex in January. Capricorn and their ex for January 2020. 10 of Cups. Capricorn and their ex for January. Page of Swords. Capricorn and their ex for January. 8 of Wands, which you also had in the first spread. Capricorn and their ex for January. 9 of Cups. Capricorn and their ex for January. Page of Cups. Capricorn and their ex for January. 4 of Cups. Capricorn and their ex for January 2020. The Chariot. Capricorn and their ex for January. The High Priestess, which you also had in the first spread. Capricorn and their ex for January. And the Devil. Okay, so you definitely have a lot of things going on here. Some of them kind of contradict each other. Remember, this is a general reading. Some of this is going to apply to you, and the rest won't. So kind of really trust your intuition. You did have the High Priestess 2 times. Let's start at the top. So you have the 10 of Cups, the Page of Swords, and the 8 of Wands. So, I mean, one thing that's interesting is you have 2 pages lined up here. You have the Page of Swords, and right at the bottom was the Page of Cups. The pages represent communication, so there can definitely be communication with your ex in the month of January. I also feel like it's a good, if you've been wanting to reach out to your ex in the month, you know, perhaps you've been thinking about reaching out to them. The month of January, there is strong energy of communication, so it might be a good idea to really, you know, kind of open up about the truth. Because you have the Page of Swords here, which does mean that, you know, there is something that needs to be said. The truth, perhaps that you have been deeply hurt. You had the 10 of Swords 2 times in the last spread. So perhaps you want to really open up about, you know, how you truly feel. There is change around your relationship with your ex. You have the 8 of Wands, which was also in the first spread. I think it was the first card. There's still, you know, there's an opportunity for change here. This does mean, though, that you've been waiting for a long time. There is still excitement and, you know, a new development around this person, but perhaps there has to be communication with them. The 10 of Cups is your first card. This is a happily ever after. There can still be a very happy and fulfilling relationship, but the truth does have to come out. As far as maybe, it may not be what you think. It could be that maybe somebody needs to say, you know, that they're sorry. The truth needs to come out about why someone really cheated. Whatever it is that, you know, broke you up, there has to be honesty. The complete truth has to be known. In the next row here, we have the 9 of Cups, Page of Cups, 4 of Cups. So though, you know, there is unhappiness here. And the 4 of Cups, to me, this is kind of like an energy of saying, like, no, thank you. Like, I'm not interested. So it's here, like somebody is, I feel like your ex maybe is not quite eager to jump on board when it comes to a reunion. But yet, look at the cards next to it. Again, that you may not know the truth. You may not know why this person is not moving towards you. There is still love here. I mean, the Page of Cups, this can be a new beginning in a relationship. It's also communication, very emotional communication that needs to happen. And that's the only way for your wish to come true. You have the Wish card here. your wish fulfilled to have your ex back. But there is an energy here of like your ex kind of like shooing you away. Like, you know, I'm not interested, because maybe the truth is not known. Maybe somebody really needs to speak their truth, whether it's you or your ex. Now down here you've got the Chariot, which can represent the sign of Cancer. You did have the King of Cups as confirmation for the Seven of Swords in the first spread. So you've got the energy of Cancer here. You have the energy, well, of you. You have your energy here as a Devil. So if you are, you know, dealing with a Cancer, I mean, you're definitely being told to trust your intuition around this person with the High Priestess. But the Chariot is just victory. This is movement around you and your ex. Positive movement. This is you surviving, getting back together, big changes. Just know that there is a lot of negativity here with the Devil. There is pessimism. That is why I see this person here with the Four of Cups shooing you away. Like, not now, or I'm just not interested. That's what this card is saying. I'm not interested. But there is communication. There has to be communication. Otherwise, this person is not going to be ready to connect with you. Okay, let me get a few more. What other messages are there for Capricorn about their ex for January? Got the Fool, Death. Interesting. And the Seven of Swords again. Why has the Seven of Swords come up for the sign of Capricorn for January? Okay, that's interesting. I definitely feel like whatever it is, you know, the deceit that I've been talking about since the first spread, I mean, it could be, that's why you have, I mean, you've got deceit here with the Seven of Swords, but you've got the truth here. So I feel like, you know, kind of hearing the truth, maybe communicating. You have 2 pages lined up here. This will bring positive energy. This is love. This is positive energy, success. But I feel like, you know, this person that, you know, you want to get back together with is in a, you know, kind of in a dark place. You have the Devil here. They're in denial. I definitely feel like this is self-deceit, because there's still positive energy as far as you and your ex getting back together. You have the Fool. I mean, you also had it in the first spread. This is, you know, telling you to trust in a new beginning. You're going to have to take a giant leap of faith. I feel like there could be a huge change in the relationship with your ex here. A huge transformation. But somebody is kind of, you know, in denial. They're just looking the other way. But the confirmation for the Seven of Swords is the Sun, which this is amazing, because this is love and positive energy. There can still be success, but I feel like your ex doesn't see this. Ironically, the Seven of Swords is right over the Four of Cups, which I told you this is a card of no thank you. Thanks, but no thanks. I'm not interested. They're not seeing. They're in denial about, you know, the opportunity for happiness that there is in this relationship. Again, communication. Pages lined up here. Y'all leading to the High Priestess. Trust your intuition. If you've been thinking, even thinking of reaching out to your ex, the month of January could be a good time to do that. I feel like if there isn't, you know, kind of communication and honesty, this person could stay in this energy of kind of self-deceit and kind of think that, you know, they don't want you back. There's something that they're not seeing, something that is kind of keeping them away. Okay, let's get a few more from the confirmation deck. What other messages are there for the sign of Capricorn for January? Six of Wands. Capricorn and their ex for January. Six of Pentacles. Three of Cups. So you've got 2 sixes lined up here. The sixes represent balance and harmony. Something is definitely out of balance in the relationship with your ex. I feel like this applies to before you broke up. Something was out of balance. But you also have, when you have the Minor Arcana Victory card here and the Major Arcana Victory, and we're asking about an ex, but I still see victory around you. You can get back together. You just had the Fool 2 times. You had it in the first spread and it's here now. So there definitely could be a chance to get back together. You also have the Six of Pentacles. This is you getting what you deserve from this person. This is you getting the relationship that you thought you were going to get. There's still a lot of happiness here. You have the Three of Cups. This is good times, joy, laughter, celebration. And the first card was the Ten of Cups. This is, you know, a very happy and fulfilling relationship. So just kind of looking this over. I mean, again, there has to be communication. You have 2 pages lined up here. Communication is going to help. Communication from the heart and the truth. Because someone is in denial here. Someone is in denial and kind of looking the other way. And at the same time, there is someone who is saying, no, thank you. I'm not interested in getting back together. Because there is some deep pessimism here about the relationship. But also there is some type of self-deceit, which was here. There is some type of self-deceit. But that person is just not seeing what you're seeing. You have the Sun here. There's still a lot of positive energy. There's There is success around your relationship. It can still move forward. You have the Fool here lined up with Death. Death can represent the sign of Scorpio, but this is just, a huge change, a huge transformation. Your relationship with their ex, really springing into something completely different than maybe what you had before. A very happy relationship, which was the very first card I pulled for you. There's still a lot of happiness here. I just realized you have the 9 and the 10 of Cups. Your wish to have your ex back can be fulfilled and lead to a very happy relationship. But again, communication, deceit. Someone's not seeing what you're seeing, and someone is very pessimistic. I feel like, again, you do need to talk. Okay, Capricorn, this has been your love reading for January 2020. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll speak to you again next month.